You can be alive and not living, you know, breathing without really breathing, present without really being there, hearing everything around you and none of the fullness of what's around you. Neither the possibilities or the quiet invitations of life. None of those beautiful things that life still places in front of you. You can't even feel them anymore. Because sometimes the emptiness gets louder than everything else. It gets heavier. It can be more convincing than what's actually in front of you. It moves into that space where your curiosity used to live. You know, when you would get that light in your eyes, that flicker when you looked ahead. You know, in that space where hope felt reachable and not theoretical. It's like sitting in a stadium, and that stadium is full of sound and movement and life, and everything is happening right there. It's all around you, but it's like you're encapsulated, you're enclosed in something, you know, a capsule, a one-way glass, and you can see out, but nothing gets in. And, you know, the noise doesn't reach you, and the energy of everything just passes you by. You know, life is happening 3 feet away, but it might as well be happening somewhere else entirely. And from the outside, no one can even tell that, you know, because you're there and you're present and you're functioning and you're in the middle of everything. But inside that capsule, you are completely alone in that quiet. And that's what it feels like. Or that's what it can feel like. You know, it's not absence, it's not disappearance, it's just separation. A separation from everything that's moving around you. It's a separation from that version of yourself that used to be in the middle of it all without even thinking about it. And the hardest part isn't the emptiness itself, it's how stealthily it arrived. Because there wasn't a moment when you chose it. It might have followed you in the door after a disappointment or a loss. Sometimes it's just that accumulated weight of life. You know how how it unfolds differently than we needed it to, or how we wanted it to, one too many times, and you become disconnected. that accumulation, it starts making you feel like less and less and less. And it's not because you wanted to, you didn't want to feel that way, but the feeling less, the emotional feeling less, not less than as a person, but feeling less meant the risk got smaller, the hurt got smaller. And at the time, it made sense. But protection has this way of becoming something very different if it stays around long enough. It shows up as distance. And that distance, if it sticks around long enough, it'll show up in your life in a way where your life becomes something where you're present, but you're not fully inside of that life. The colors shift a little bit. And excitement doesn't feel the same. It feels flat. It feels flatter than we've experienced before. And the sense of possibilities, that hope, that thing that keeps us going on so many occasions, it starts to feel like it's something that belongs to some other people, like it doesn't belong to you. And along that walk, hopefully that day comes where you're getting like a little inkling, a little glimpse of recognition and understanding that you are alive, but you're not really living. And that recognition, as uncomfortable as it is actually something. And that's because you can't move towards something you haven't named yet. And you just named it. But that's also to say that the return to yourself, return to feeling full doesn't announce itself either. In the allowance of that, it comes in small moments. Those laughs that kind of catch you off guard. Or you recognize something beautiful and you really feel it. It really lands with you. Or you start to feel curious about anything. And you genuinely thought that you may have lost that spark for curiosity, but something catches you and you find yourself falling into that again. And with all of those small little recognitions and glimmers, you recognize that that fullness of life has not disappeared. It hasn't gone away. It just got quieter than the moments of emptiness for a while. And maybe part of traveling through the fog is learning to listen for it again. Even when that emptiness hasn't fully quieted yet. Even when you're not all the way back. Because being alive is one thing. Living is something you slowly step back into, one small step at a time. Sit with yourself there and continue traveling.